Young people, welcome back. B in the house, y'all. Shout out to the sponsors and to our lesson of the day. So, looks like we have Chapter 5, Lesson 3, Solving Multi-Step Inequalities. The objective, solve linear inequalities involving more than one operation. Secondly, solve linear inequalities involving the distributive property. Sounds like students will be able to swap back, solve. The skill is solve, the concept is inequalities. I go a little step further and just say students will be able to solve multi-step inequalities. Let's make it happen. Bam. So, there's our handout, and there it goes. Getting right into it. Super nice title. Justify each indicated step. I love this. It's like a reteach handout. If you don't know what I'm talking about, reteach handout, check out some of our other teachers. They're doing some handouts as well from the textbook. Some reteach, some homework practice. But for me, guys, skills practice. Justifying what they're doing. First thing, they added 3 to both sides. There you go. I like how they're working horizontal. You know, Mr. Craft works underneath. I go vertical. I draw those step lines. Secondly, guys, I love it. They're using the reciprocal. Multiply both sides by the reciprocal. They're undoing the 3/4 times t. Great skill. You're late. You're late. I don't know why you got no bells. I hear them in my sleep. That's because I teach. All right, guys. Moving on to number 2, we're about to talk about reciprocal. It's going to come up so much more later on, so let's just get right back into it. First step, distributive property, 5 times k, 5k, 5 times 8, 40. Boom. Second step, subtract 33 from both sides. Last step, divide both sides by the coefficient. And I say 5. It's easier to write 5 in the coefficient. And guys, I think that's it. Yes, both sides. We know that. And if you don't know that, go back, watch some other videos, solving equations, keeping it balanced. Here we go. Guys, loving it. We got a great opportunity today to work on some skills that we've had in the past. As you can see, number 3, solve each inequality. It's kind of like solving an equation and knowing the steps that you're going to do. These are all 2 steps, and not taking the time to break down the steps to a 2-step. Just like we always do, guys, we're going to learn by doing. First step, undoing the addition of subtraction. Subtracting 4 from both sides, eliminating the constant 4. Negative 2b is now greater than negative 10. We got to remember to flip our sign. Do I remember? Am I going to point it out? Am I going to show it? Of course, guys. B now will be less than 5. Doesn't tell me to graph it. It does tell me to check it. We'll come back and do that. Got a nice looking 2-step. 3x plus 15 is less than or equal to 21. Again, guys, 2 steps. They should be like 1 steps, automatic. So automatically here, I'm going to show you like the book did. There it is, horizontal. I'm going to subtract 15 from the left side and subtract 15 from the right side. Therefore, I see the opposites, and 15 and negative 15, they cancel each other, leaving me with 3x on the left. And of course, 21 minus 15 is 6. Rewriting the monomial, 3x, dividing it by 3. So on the right side, dividing the constant 6 by 3. X is now less than or equal to 2. Love it. Love it. All right, guys. Here we go. We got d divided by 2. The opposite of dividing is multiplying, but not before I undo addition or subtraction. Here it looks like d divided by 2 is now going to be greater than or equal to 4. I can just show adding 1 to both sides. Again, how quick are you getting it? To undo division, I multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. So again, some of you guys are boom, boom, boom. But go back and show your work. Don't let the teacher do like I do. You didn't show your work, I don't believe you. Mr. Craft, what you mean? You saw me do it. I saw you do it yesterday. This was your homework. I want to see your work. So taking the time, guys, to do just that. And what we're doing is making sure that we understand the concept, inequality, and we understand the skill, which is solving these. Now, of course, understanding the skill of checking. If we were to add that to our swap back, students would be able to check a solution to an inequality. Here we go, guys. Done it a few times in earlier videos, and if you're checking it out now, guys, you see what I'm talking about. We're going to use what's called a test point. And we can test any point on the number line. So I'm going to test 0. And in this case, when I test 0, will it come out as true or will it come out as false? Well, is 4 less than -6? No. Now, is that what I was supposed to get? I don't have to graph b is less than 5 to know whether or not 0 on a number line is shaded or not shaded. But if you need to, guys, go ahead and do that. I'm loving it because I'm understanding it. I hope you guys are getting it as well. We're moving on unless I decide to do some more checks. And I do, because if I get one that is false, well, what about a number that is a lot higher than 0, right? 10, 20, 30. Well, plug that in. And by plugging that in, guys, are you going to get a different answer? When I say a different answer, we only have 2 choices. Am I going to get a true statement or a false statement if b is 10? Well, -20 plus 4. Well, that's a whole lot more negatives than positives. And guess what? I get -16. Is -16 more than -6? Again, guys, that is false. And it should be false, right? And again, what am I doing? Taking the time, because we're not going to check all of these. We're going to check some of them. So slowing down, checking number 3 with 3 different values. Why did I say 3 different values? Because I still haven't got it true. So b was 0, because it should be false, 0, all right? 10. What about -10? So think about it. 0, let's go this way. Think about it. 0, -10, +10, all right? 3 different places on that number line. So check it out. And again, guys, if you're watching this is awesome. Some of my students I know would have moved past this check and would have hit that little forward arrow like 3 times, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You just want to get to the next part of the handout, huh? Well, you better wait. Stay with Mr. Craft. All right, guys, 24. Is 24 greater than -6? Yes! Yes, it is. And so we finally got it true. And guys, no point did I ever graph b is less than -5, but it would start on 5, and it would go to the left, right? And b is greater than, b is equal to 0. That's not right, it should be true. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. All right, guys, got 3 more. Nothing's changing here. I'm picking up number 7's got a little curve for me. 2/5 a. 2/5 times a is -4 is less than 2. First step is to add 4 to undo the subtraction. You see I'm working vertical here, underneath like I normally do. That's how I was taught decades ago. 2/5 a. To undo 2/5, to undo the multiplying of 2/5 times a, I'm going to use what's called the reciprocal. Flipping like a reciprocal. J. Cole. No. We use the reciprocal on both sides, going to keep it balanced. And of course, guys, to me, I'm good to understand the numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So 6 times 5 is 30, and the invisible 1 times 2 is 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Now, on the left side, you would have got 10 over 10, which is 1. Now, this is the one we need to slow down and just make sure, did you understand where your negative went? Subtract 7. So now you get the -t/5. -t/5. The negative, and this is where I'm going to pause. Pause right there. Because what happened to the negative? it did not stay in the numerator. That negative did not stay in the middle, and it didn't go to the numerator. It's going to the denominator. I don't want to give it to the t because then I'm saying negative 1t. No. I don't want my coefficient of t to be negative. I'm just going to give it to the denominator. And yes, ask your teacher, ask me. I'll go through it a little bit more in great detail, but I know that sign, that inequality is going to go from one direction to the other direction. I know that looks cool. By giving it to the denominator, now I know I'm flipping the sign after I multiply by the negative 5 to get rid of the dividing by 5. Undo dividing by 5. Or in this case, undo dividing by negative 5. And again, guys, I'm a big component of fraction times a fraction, so if I clean that up, sometimes I do, sometimes I just slash it, knowing that you know that's the inverse operation, it undoes the dividing by 5. Flip the sign, that's the most important thing they're checking that you do here. T is less than 55. And again, guys, check any value, 0, 5, negative 5. Might go bigger though, is just on you. I don't see any negatives. I see an operation that's subtraction, which means negative 10, but I don't see any flipping of the sign here. When I add 10 to both sides, I get my 3/4 j. Recognizing this time the j is being multiplied by a fraction. Reciprocal. 3/4, I'm going to use 4/3. And this is where it gets kind of what you got. And you'll see what I mean here. Easy enough. Top times top, that'll be 15 times 4. But bottom times bottom will be 1 times 3. So now I'm going to get j, because 12 divided by 12 would be 1. 1j is just j, so j is greater than or equal to 60 divided by 3. Now the kids that can do that in their head, they don't mind care. Kids need to write it out like that. Write it out. You're going to make mistakes on fractions. That will help you out. And that looks nasty. Thank you. Greater than or equal to 15. And we just need to graph it. No, we need to check it. Yeah. Did I say 15? I did say 15. I don't know why. I just said it, but you got it. Guys, check yo solutions. Okay, your, not yo. I like yo. It's just because where I'm from. Anthony Hamilton. Maybe my editor will play that music one day. I don't know. Coming from where I'm from. But, but that's why you guys like me, because I come from where you come from. Yeah, I know some of y'all, what are you talking about? Here we go, guys. 9, 10, and 11. I see a negative coefficient. My brain automatically is thinking, gotta flip that sign. Using the reciprocal, I gotta add 3 to both sides. That gave me, subtract 3 from both sides, because it's adding 3, so negative 9 minus 3 would give me negative 12. The reciprocal here, guys, I'm gonna give the negative, because again, if it's in the middle, where do you wanna give it? I don't really care. Because the negative times the negative is gonna give me the positive. But multiplying by the negative fraction, the negative 2/3 flips that side. The left side would be 6/6, which gives you 1f or just f. And the right side gave me negative 12 times 2, 24. And just keep the 3 on the bottom, because 3 times 1 would be 3. F is greater than 8. I like this one, guys. It's adding variables on both sides. I call that VOS. You gotta have your variables on the same side. We'll play with that in a different video, or we've already in multi-step. There we go, sorry, focus. Subtract 3p from both sides. Why? Because I want my variable on the left. You want your variable on the left. You want your variable on the left. The variable needs to be on the left. It tells you which way the arrow goes when I graph it, right? So, when I did that, guys, I got negative 1p plus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 10. Opposite of adding 5, inverse operation, both sides, negative 1p is now greater than or equal to negative 15. Divide by the coefficient. That's going to have me flip my sign. And I have an answer. Is it correct? That's why we check solutions. Number 11. Same as 10, but what will be different? 4k plus 15 is greater than negative 2k plus 3. I want my variables on the left side. So I'm going to add 2k. If I do it to the right side, which I believe, oh my goodness. Do you see what I see? Mr. Craft is messing up. Guys, whether it's K or X, you're doing your job. You're getting your work done. You're learning the objective. You will be able to solve a multi-step equation. You will be able to solve a multi-step inequality, whether it's K or X. Good job, guys. I believe we got distributive property. All right, so when I see parentheses, I think distribute. 2 times the quantity, negative 3m minus 5, greater than or equal to negative 28. Step 1, distributive property. Negative 3m times 2 and negative 5 times 2 will give me negative 6m minus 10. And we still got negative 28 on the right. The coefficient, negative 6. Flip your sign. But not yet. We got to add 10 to both sides. Going to give me negative 18. When I divide by negative, the sign has to flip. So therefore, 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now guys, first thing I did, distributive property. Second thing I did was I had to add 10 to both sides. Next thing I had to do was divide both sides by negative 6. So guys, I did not show the steps. I wrote the steps because you're here to get help. Or you're here to get your homework done with some help. I don't know. But flip the inequality because you divided by negative 6. I would highlight that in yellow, give it a little dotty dot dot. Or I'm just going to show you steps. Show you steps, yeah. So am I gonna do a check? Of course not. We're gonna move on. We've already been here about 15 minutes. You know, some videos will be long, but some don't have to be. So negative 6 times the quantity of w plus 1 is less than 2 times the quantity of w plus 5. Guys, then we got a little bit of everything going on here, except I'm collecting my terms. I'm distributing the negative, negative 6w minus 6, 2w plus 10. Recognizing I got variables on the left side and the right side. And there's rules or reasons why you would move the negative 6w or why you would move the positive 2w, why you would eliminate one or the other. Guys, I like my variable term on the left side when dealing with inequalities. So by subtracting 2w from both sides, negative 8w minus 6, less than 10. Again, undoing subtraction. Guys, it's starting to make sense. It's that, oh, I love it. I love it. One thing we got to make sure, did you flip your sign? Yes, you did. Guys, it looks good to me. And you always know, where's my fraction? We haven't got a fraction yet. But if we do get a fraction, w is greater than 2/3. It's okay, right? So 12 and 13. And let's go ahead and take care of 14, right? Or am I not going to do 14? I guess I'm going to leave 14 for you. But I'm not done. I'm not done. Don't worry. It's a whole lot more, right? Well, not a whole lot more, but there's more. They got some work to do. Looks like we got to define a variable, write an inequality, solve each problem, and check a solution. Whew, let me say that again. Define the variable. It's going to be x, n, p, q. Write an inequality. So we got our inequalities up there to help us out. Solve each problem, okay, and then check a solution. So we got a little bit to do for each one, and let's start knocking it out. Number 15, 4 more than the quotient, division. So 4 more, got it. Then the quotient of a number, and 3. So the division of a number and 3, so n divided by 3. That's basically what they're asking us to do. That's what they looked like before, right? Unless it was a coefficient, but then it would say 2/3 n, right? Or 2/3 of the number. At least. How do I know it was greater than or equal to? That's why I brought in the chart. Did you find it? I found it. At least, right? Make sure you use it. Keep it handy. There's this thing called notes, a notebook. Have that chart, especially during this chapter, guys. There's my inequality, and of course I haven't solved it yet, haven't checked it yet. Let's do one thing at a time. N represents the variable, and of course the sum of a number in 14 is easy enough to write. Is less than or equal to, that one I know, 3 times the number. That's it, guys. Variables on both sides, but we'll solve that later. 17, negative 3 times the number, increased. Negative 3n plus 7, because it's increased by 7. Is less than negative 11. Again, guys, the chart is only needed when I need it, because I know what I know what less than negative 11 is. So, knocking them out. 11, 18. 5 times a number decreased by 8. Decreased by 8? Subtracting 8 from what though? 5 times a number. So 5n, because that's saying 5 times a number, decreased by 8. Is at most, looking at my chart, oh there it is, less than or equal to. Sorry guys, I'm not doing the fun highlights. If you saw an earlier video, you know I'd like to do that, but you know sometimes you just get it done. So got number 18. As you can see, there's quite a few of these. And again, guys, if you write the inequality incorrect, of course you won't be able to solve it correctly. So doing this part first and making sure it's correct is vital, right? But you're going to get some things wrong. So 7 more than 5/6 of a number. Pause. It's going to be a short one though, guys. And the reason why I'm pausing is because I always talk about being able to understand what you read. If you read something and your mind automatically goes, huh? You might not say, huh, out loud, but you're saying, huh, in your head because you just read a fraction. 5/6 n. Huh? Well, 5/6 n. So when we got to number 19, 7 more. Nothing confusing there. 7 more. I'm adding 7. I can write that using the plus sign and the number 7. 7 more than 5/6 of a number. Huh? Well, guys, that's why in 5th grade, and 6th grade, and 7th grade, you did the same thing. We're just now building up. Every time I go up a grade, right? Every time I go up a grade, I'm just getting better and better at what I do. You write better than you did 5 years ago. Hopefully you're doing math better than you did 5 years ago. So when you read these things, guys, do not ignore that you don't understand what you're reading. Vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. Send me a message. Hit me up. I'll help you out. Let's keep going. 5/6 n plus 7 is greater than negative 3. And of course, for the last one, 4 times the sum of a number. And 2 increased by 3 is at least. Well, is at least. I can find that, hopefully. There it is, at least. But 4 times the sum of. The minute I read sum of, I'm putting parentheses because the sum of what? A number and 2 increased by 3. I forgot the increased by 3. I think I forgot the increased by 3, guys. So, I paused earlier. We're not going to pause again. We are going to talk about humans. So, looks like I would check that number 20. You know what I say in my videos? Take it to class, show the teacher, tell her to explain. What did I do wrong? Don't say what did Mr. Craft do wrong. Just say what I did wrong. All right, guys, we're solving, which was the third thing we had to do here. Solving 15 by subtracting 4 from both sides. You get n divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 5. Multiply both sides by 3 and n is greater than or equal to 15. For 16, we're still undoing. So I want to keep the variable on the left n. So I'm actually doing more than if it was just an equation. By subtracting 14, I still need to get the variable by itself. So now subtract 3n from both sides, negative 2n, then divided by a negative. Hopefully, I did not go so fast that I changed my inequality into an equal sign. What are you doing? All right, guys. If you're here with B&B, you're here to have some fun while you're taking care of work. So I don't even know why I'm doing 20. I think 20 is wrong. But that's why you're here, because you want to see me do some work. And maybe once or twice I might do something wrong, right? Let's see if I did it right or wrong. And end of the day, don't talk about it too bad in the chats. And I'm going to go ahead and say, what's that? I remember this now. I remember thinking to myself, I'm about to get a fraction. You know why I'm about to get a fraction? Because I did not write the inequality correctly. So, writing the inequality, the one I wrote for 20 was not correct. But what I did do correct was most of the rest of the handout. So, guys, there's going to be mistakes every day. You know I'm going to enjoy every time I sit with you guys and take care of these. So, with number 19, let's see if I'm a little bit more successful. 5 6 and plus 7 is more than -3. And again, let's see where I go too fast, don't show my work, or move on without clearly checking. But if we were to check every solution, we'd be here all day, right? After subtracting 7 from both sides, you got the -10. There you go. Multiplying both sides by the reciprocal. And I'm glad I'm showing it here, guys, because this may be the part where you're like, huh? -10, I want to make it a fraction because 10 times the numerator 6 gives you -60, but the denominator 1 times 5 would give me 5. It's not there, but there's the final answer. And again, guys, did I need to flip my sign? No, because I did not multiply by -6/5. It was a positive 6/5. One of the things I do want to point out, guys, is given that we've hit over the 20-minute mark, maybe even 25 minutes, we could definitely talk through number 16, 17, 18, any of the ones I did not finish. But I want to leave you with 2 steps. Remembering undo addition and subtraction, undo multiplication and division, and dealing with inequalities. Remember to flip your sign when it's a negative. Guys, thank you for being with me.